Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today I want to talk about the social credit system that we have here in the United States and Europe that is also being developed other places, is not run by the government, and you're going to be rather surprised by who the morality police tend to be. Now, this is coming from the Evening Standard from a couple of weeks ago, and I think that this is absolutely fascinating and terrifying and kind of dovetails with my video yesterday on a very similar subject. Now, the company we're going to be talking about today is Airbnb. Now, Airbnb has developed a technology that looks at guests' online personalities when they go ahead and try to book a room or a house or whatever they're doing on Airbnb, and they're doing this to calculate the risk of them trashing the host's home. Now, this trait analyzer software is built to scour the web to assess a user's quote-unquote trustworthiness and compatibility, as well as their, again, quote-unquote behavioral and personality traits in a bid to forecast sustainability to rent a property. Now, according to the U.S. patent, and this was recently revealed when the European Patent Office exposed this, Airbnb could deploy its software to scan sites, including social media, for traits as conscientious and openness against the usual credit and identity checks and what it describes as secure third-party databases. Traits such as neuroticism and involvement in crimes and narcissism, Machiavellianism, or psychopathy are perceived as untrustworthy. Now, Airbnb says this platform uses artificial intelligence to mark down those it finds to be associated with fake social network profiles or those who have given any false details. The patent also suggests users are scored poorly if keywords, images, or video associated with them are involved with drugs or alcohol, hate websites, or organizations or sex work. It adds that people, quote unquote, involved in pornography or who have, again, quote, authored online content with negative language, end quote, will be marked down. And there you go. Now, I have talked about these systems before. One of the systems that I had mentioned in the past on my radio show, as well as I believe in writing and probably on one of these videos, is one called Patron Scan. This is basically, it takes it to a slightly less degree. If you walk into a bar or restaurant that uses Patron Scan, they will scan your ID, your driver's license, or your identification, put you into their system, and if they deem you unworthy for whatever reason, let's say you start a fight or whatever that is, they can actually flag you, and any other place that you go to in the Patron Scan network in the United States, Europe, and Australia basically will flag you to say, well, you're an undesirable person, so we are not going to let you in our establishment. Now, by virtue of this, these platforms are starting to act like the morality police, and I think that's something that we really need to discuss here, in the sense that everybody has their own opinion of what is good, bad, moral, amoral, and all of that. I think we can universally agree on a set of codified laws of things that are immoral. Like, we shouldn't murder people, we shouldn't kill. Obviously, nobody wants to see their home trashed. I don't want to see my home trashed if I was renting it out on Airbnb, but where's the line? And who really makes that judgment? This is an Airbnb's best judgment. What to them constitutes this kind of speech? If I have authored online content with negative language, does that mean I have written an article that uses the F word in it? Does that mean I am hating on an organization? Does that mean I say I hate conservatives or I hate liberals? What does that mean? How do we define that? And is that correct? Does this mean at some point, and I can use politics because it's always in the news as a marker for this, if one of us, let's say, has a problem with the other side of the spectrum, you're liberal and you hate conservative, you're conservative and you hate liberal, whatever that is, if Airbnb has a slant one way or the other, can they start denying people that they analyze through social media and say, oh, well, this person is on the opposite side of the political spectrum with us, so we are going to deny them services from our site? There's a big slippery slope here, and I think it's an argument and a discussion that needs to be had of what this actually means. If you have no criminal record, if you live, let's say, in a state where, things like cannabis are legal, does that now exclude you from Airbnb if they have a zero drug tolerance? Now, we've all heard of Airbnb where somebody has rented an Airbnb and then thrown a massive party, pretty much like a rager, that has destroyed the house. I think, yes, that should absolutely be stopped. I think a person that is renting a house like this should be held liable for this. I also know the backlash to that. There's a lot of homeowners on Airbnb started putting cameras in their properties, which obviously is another kind of violation of privacy. And so, where's the standard? Where's the mess? Where's the line rather, before we create the mess? I know that if I go and rent, let's say, a hotel room for one of the big hotel chains, I am contractually entering into an agreement that says if I trash that room, my credit card's going to get charged. I can't party like a rock star and expect to walk out of that room with just the standard, $200 a night, $300 a night, whatever that is. These are the things that we need to discuss, and as we become more open with this micro economy, if you will, where people are renting their cars, renting their homes, and all of this kind of stuff, then I think we have to have strong lines on that. And so that's the question for today. I think it's a discussion we need to have. But as we see this, we can start applying this social credit system to things like Airbnb or Patron Scan. And what happens if that starts moving on to things like social media? What happens if it's a Facebook thing or LinkedIn or something else or Twitter, where they say, you know what, we have this one set of beliefs that you disagree with, and so we're going to exclude you from this platform. As private companies, this is your right, or rather this is their right, but at the same token, where's the balance? And so that's the question. I'm curious to know what you guys think of this, but as we continue to be data mined and have our privacy eroded in this sense, our social media platforms and the platforms that we're using to conduct business, in this case Airbnb, are starting to blur that line as well. And that's a discussion, like I said, we all need to have. And so that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube as well. And I do not have an Airbnb for you to rent. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.